How can you ignore the top scorer in the Premier League, particularly if he's English? Jamie Vardy,
fair point,
who retired from international football, or kind of left the door slightly ajar, Ale, at the end of the World Cup. He wasn't getting the minutes. He was concentrating on family life and playing well for Leicester City. He's flying for Leicester City. One look at the stats tells you 16 goals in 16 games. Gareth Southgate has to give him a call, doesn't he?
Well, he can give him a call. It's whether he answers the call. See, here's the thing. Gareth Southgate didn't do anything to Jamie Vardy. He didn't say, hey, Jamie, the door is closed for you. You're not coming back to the national team. It was Jamie Vardy who said, I'm done with this. When you take that step, I assume that it's not just because of frustration that you haven't been playing. It's because, well, you've taken the time to think about it thoroughly and understand that it's best for you, your family, and your career that you no longer play at the international level. But of course it plays a part that he wasn't as important to the English national team as he is to Leicester. And so he's going to say, well, why am I going to travel around the world? Why am I going to go here and there and everywhere if I'm only going to play 10, 15 minutes, if that's what the role that is out there for me? Well, if that's the case and that's the mentality, then Jamie Vardy is better off just staying at Leicester, hanging out with the family and spending that time with the family. And if I'm Gareth Southgate, I say, you know what, buddy? You said thanks, but no thanks. So I'm in a position where maybe I give you a call, but also I'll tell you thanks, but no thanks. Nobody forced Jamie Vardy into making the statements that he made. And so I'm sure that maybe in Gareth Southgate's mind, he's thinking it's worth a phone call. But if I'm a coach and I'm a manager, I'm saying, he turned his back. He closed the door. I didn't. And if he's not fully engaged and if he's not mentally ready to be part of this, we don't need him and we don't want him.
It sounds like it was a collaborative effort in terms of trying to work out what would be best for the situation. He says, you know, shortly after the World Cup, or towards the end of the World Cup, I sat down with Gareth and said, look, this is how I'm feeling, not getting the minutes. You're going in a different direction in terms of younger players. Maybe it's best you concentrate on that. He's done that, obviously, in the intervening period. And there's an argument, yes, to say that now he'll be 33 come the European Championships, that maybe his best football has returned because he's not been in those added commitments. But would you say that maybe, just maybe, there's this argument of having a tournament scorer in your ranks, someone who can do damage in certain phases of a game, and maybe if he doesn't reach out and say, I need you in the next few months, come the summer, he says, look, late inclusion, if he finishes top scorer in the Premier League, would you not bring him in just for the tournament?
The first thing I'll say is that he has not been nearly as effective with England as he has with Leicester. So let's first of all evaluate that for what it is. So the international productivity is not what it is with Leicester, which is to be expected. The other thing I would say is that he didn't have to close that door himself. He didn't have to have that conversation with Gareth Southgate. He didn't have to essentially lay out a plan and a pathway for Gareth Southgate to say, yeah, Jamie, we're not thinking about you in the future. It's not his job to make the decision for Gareth Southgate. So I don't quite understand when players at this level retire from international duty. I'll tell you what happens and how you actually retire from international duty. When you're not good enough to be part of the national team anymore, right? And so at this point, now he's scoring goals and now he's feeling, oh, wait a minute. Does that mean that I get to play for England now? Wait. You said you were done with that. You said you've taken that step away from the national team. And let me tell you something. He's not playing in place of Harry Kane. Is he coming in to be the starter in that position? It's not happening. Right? We both know that Harry Kane is going to be the starter for England in the Euros, unless there is an injury issue. If I'm Gareth Southgate, I understand that I need a goal scorer. That somebody who could provide me with a goal late in a game that maybe changes the fate of our national team in the European Championship. Has he been that guy with the national team? I'll ask you, you're English. Has he been that guy that scores that goal?
No, but I would...
Okay, no, he's not been that guy. So you're looking at it from the perspective of, oh man, if we could get that productivity with the national team. You know how many players haven't been able to take that jump? Get that productivity from club team to national team? Are you going to sit Harry Kane for this guy?
I'm thinking...
No. Are you going to sit Harry Kane for this guy?
No.
Okay, so he's going to have the same role. And that's a role that he didn't want. Is that unfair to say?
Could it work for a tournament is all I'm asking.
Well, it could work. But he closed the door. I didn't. You didn't. Gareth Southgate didn't. He did it. It's what he wanted. We're doing what he wants. And what he wants is, I don't want to play for England. That's what he wanted. Not me. Not you. Not anybody else. No Southgate.
If you were in his position and you'd made the decision in very good faith, which we believe he has, and the phone rang saying, Alejandro, come back. You're going to play at Wembley, be part of the squad just for a few weeks this summer. I need you. Would you take the call up?
You're taking this the wrong way around. It shouldn't be Southgate making that phone call. It should be him making the phone to Southgate and say, you know what? Maybe I jumped it. Maybe I was too fast with this decision. Maybe I didn't think it through. Maybe I want to be back with the national team. In whatever role you have necessary for me, Gareth, I'll do whatever you ask me to do. And if that's the case, then Gareth Southgate says, all right, come on in. But he's got to be the one that initiates the contact, not the coach. Not the coach. It's not the coach's responsibility because he didn't make the decision. He made the decision.
Finally, are England good enough with Kane, Rashford and Abraham to win that championship?
Well, 2 weeks ago, people were telling me all about Tammy Abraham. Now he hasn't scored. It's like, wait. Well, Tammy Abraham is not the answer? And now he's the answer? He may very well be. But he's got to figure it out himself first before Gareth Southgate tries to figure it out.
Okay, Ali sorted it then. Pick up the phone, Jamie.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.